Hello, friends and foes, and welcome to our brand new actual play show. I'm Kira, and I'll be your game master. Let's get right into it and meet our players. Farah, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Farah. I'll be playing the Duchess Angharad, a Kelpie rogue and also the right-hand advisor to the former Goblin Queen.
Alyssa, please tell us who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Alyssa and I'm playing Lord Marquess Laurent. I am a harpy bard and just a sassy boy that doesn't know any better.
Sky, please tell us who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Sky. I am playing Matchmaker Vonni, a furbolg druid who is very dedicated to their craft.
Our story takes place in the world of Ildaha, a world of fairy tales and folklore, a world of high society and glamour, home to Archfey with few cares beyond themselves. In a world with no hunger, no famine, no disease, what drives society to move forward? Why, an arbitrary and aggressively enforced social system of niceties, of course. When you live forever, reputation is everything. Will our players' ambition drive them to climb the political ranks? Will they claw their way up the social ladder? Or will they try to find love against the odds? Or will they crumble under the pressure? We welcome you all, friends and foes alike, to Phase of Our Lives. We begin, not at the beginning of our story, but a century prior. It is always the golden hour here in the Autumn Domain, and the Goblin Court is no exception. The Goblin Queen, Princess Grubhilda, habits break hard, but titles are powerful things, and hers is real now. New and shining, not given in jest to a black market broker, but real and demanding real respect. Princess Grubhilda hops from her riverboat and unceremoniously thrusts a bundle up into your chest, Angharad. Why don't you go ahead and describe yourself for us?
Angharad is sort of in the midst of a transition. She was once a sort of fairer, bluer color of the seas, and now she's turning into a murky green, and she's sort of really taken on the ways of the goblin community. Her posture's become a little more hunched, her hair hangs in tangled, wet locks that just sort of mat to her face and her shoulders. She is a Kelpie. She's able to transform back and forth between a humanoid form and a horse form, but even in this humanoid form, she has large, emotive, and expressive ears, and deep yellow scleras, and those pupils that, whatever the correct term for those pupils are, that, like, equines and bovines have. So she looks down at this strange bundle in her arms. She's not unaccustomed to holding children, but certainly not in a less threatening way. So she's holding this bundle and kind of observing.
You are in the midst of a transformation because you are formerly of Mare, one of the foremost and oldest estates in the Court of Tides, which you were set to inherit. Why did you leave?
Angharad decided that while she was set to inherit, she simply could not wait around for God knows how many centuries for her mother to get bored and pass on the title, as they always do. It's sort of a title by name, whereas she would much rather be out in the world doing something. She has too much ambition to just sit by and wait for things to come to her.
Ambition is the word for it. Ambition is what has driven the Goblin Court into incorporating as a court in the first place, which has happened this very year. Princess Grubhilda stands before you, still an imposing figure at all of 5 feet tall, green-skinned and rough-shod. Here it is. It was good advice, securing an heir. Seems like the thing the other courts are doing, right? You'll handle it, though, won't you? I'm not really one for kids, me.
Well, I suppose there's no other option.
Now you're getting it. Grubhilda, no, Princess Grubhilda, now, spits through the gap in her teeth and grins up at you before turning out to face the sunset, hand on hip. We did good work here, Angharad. We really did it, didn't we?
I think we'll manage. She's cuter than some of the other ones I've seen.
She keeps staring out at her new domain, the Goblin Court, and does not take a second look at the baby that you hold. Not far from the Goblin Court, but some years later, finds us in the Court of Decay, in the House of Vonni. Dim light filters through leaded glass, and between heavy velvet curtains, a house in mourning, a state which it does not seem to leave these days. A staid furbolg man, hands clasped behind his back, speaks more to the space above his eldest child's head than to them. We cannot avoid it any longer. We must discuss the issue of inheritance. Your father, Duke Llewellyn, says this matter-of-factly, while ironically avoiding meeting your gaze. Vonni, would you like to describe yourself as you stand before one of your fathers?
Well, while normally I would be in a position of straight posture and elegance, currently I am extremely just bandaged and not doing too well, kind of slouching and holding balance onto other things as I stare at my father who's refusing to look at me.
Indeed, it is due to the current situation you find yourself in, to put it delicately, as your father would prefer you do, that he has called you to this meeting. For reasons we need not elaborate on, it is clear that you are no longer fit to inherit the family title. There's just a slight twitch, and his gaze meets your hairline for a moment before shifting away again. You're not being disowned. You will still receive an allowance, and when your new sister Emmeline inherits, you will have a place as governess for her children.
Who's Emmeline?
Alma is already betrothed to the Duchess of Basalt. The Court of Stone does not allow their courtiers to hold outside titles, as you well know. Your father Ambrose has spent the last 2 months in negotiations with the goblins, securing a mortal changeling to join the family as heir. He says this as if it should be obvious, this decision, and not up for discussion.
Vonni just kind of stands there and just bandages around my face just start soaking in tears.
He turns away rather than address this and continues to speak in practical but ultimately useless details about what your life will now look like. And you begin to tune out the sound of your future crumbling at your feet. Sometime later, very near to the start of our story, a small but clean and very well-appointed office off the main square in Cardia's Fork in the Court of Dusk. Angharad, now Duchess Angharad, you sit beside your goddaughter and ward Acrimony, the Duchess of Mudlark and heir to the Goblin Court. The season is just weeks away, and you are here, having finally secured an appointment with the preeminent matchmaker in the Autumn Domain. Matchmaker Vonni sits across from you, veiled and gloved, impossible to read. How does Vonni differ from the way they once were?
Well, Vonni now sits high and very much so to the point. There's no indication of personal feelings.
Yes, they are very difficult to read in a way that lends it quite well to their chosen profession. Across from you, Acrimony, a pretty young goblin woman, short and chubby with pale green skin and dark gold curling hair, shoots a quick glance at her guardian before speaking. It's a pleasure to meet you, Matchmaker. We are very grateful to you for making the time.
Well, it's my pleasure. I just kind of nod a little bit, and I kind of adjust my gaze over to Grace Angharad, and I go, now, as we've discussed, I'm very understanding that people search for marriages for themselves, or in this case, a loved one, with political and economic gain in mind. However, I will find my client a match that carries roots with love. I cannot be bribed in any manner of pleasantries for a match that is loveless and soulless and purely for political gain. Now, with that being said, I do stay close in contact with clients. I even travel with some, at least until the end of the season, to ensure a romantic connection is made. As we've discussed in our letters, price is dependent on what kind of match is being made and with who.
Indeed. Money is no object to us. Money could be procured at any rate that you see fit. And obviously, it is of the utmost importance that my ward find a match that she will be happy with in the long term. She is the first and only heir that we have, so it is of the utmost importance that we make a good and proper match that will see to establish our court in a way that is prudent for the future, but her happiness is still key. So I believe this will work out well.
Of course. Now, I do have a few people in mind. After our correspondences, I have looked. So there are some people.
Acrimony has been very carefully, proper posture, sitting very straight, making eye contact when spoken to, but otherwise looking down. It's very clear that she's a very well-raised young woman. She is in her 99th year and entering her very first season. But when you bring your folder out, when you mention that you have actual options, she does lean just a touch to get a look.
I open the folder fully and I kind of push it towards the middle so that they both can get a look. And the first page with information that I show belongs to Viscountess Eve of Ore, which is in the Court of Dawn.
Okay.
Now,
every time we flip to a page, I'm looking back at just a quick side glance at Acrimony just to see what the initial reaction is.
You know what? We're gonna make our first roll of the game, and it's gonna be a deception check for Acrimony. And it's a nat 1.
Oh, baby girl.
Sweet baby girl. She's trying so hard to have no reaction to anything she sees on these papers. So, she looks at Eve, and her eyes widen a little bit. But she doesn't say anything, she doesn't blush, no reaction like that. But she clearly has a small positive reaction to Viscountess Eve.
I
Mental check mark.
I go to the next page. In here is Earl Albion of Aster from the court of Verdure.
You see just a slight twitch of an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Are these like painted little portraits?
Yes,
That's
little miniature. Yeah,
Yeah.
portrait
Okay,
miniatures.
I love it.
The classifieds.
He's said to be, very outgoing and cheerful, so nice for a young, fresh love. I
Would
slowly go.
fit in well amongst the goblins.
Yeah.
A certain sort of energy is necessary.
You see her shrink back a little in her seat. You say outgoing.
I quickly, with that, I go into the next one. I go, okay. I also have Earl Pavel of Loki?
Loci.
Okay. Earl Pavel of Loci, the Court of Sky. He is described as nervous, but very eager to please.
Interesting.
An insight check from Angharad at this one.
Okay.
First roll.
Let's go, baby. That's a 19.
Oh.
Okay. Even with her attempting to hide again, that description, you see her running through in her head and going, is that what people would say about me? Action is less to poor Pavel's portrait and more to the description of him. Nervous and eager to please. Wait.
Oh, I go over, I'm like, okay. And then the last one that I found. Now, he is described as kind and soft-spoken and very close with his family. This gentleman is Duke Marin of Shoals from the Court of Tides.
Oh, interesting.
Acrimony's gonna make an insight check on Angharad at that. It's bad. She's looking at the portrait.
What now was the tone that Angharad said that, what kind of tone did you say interesting in?
You need to make an insight check for that, baby.
Well, I didn't know, because I didn't know if that was something that I could, use
Go
my
for
little
it.
veil for.
I think you don't even have to press any further. I think she would follow up with the statement of, no, I wasn't aware that Shoals had a duke within a marriageable age. I am perhaps a little out of the loop.
Well, it's said that, Duke Marin is not fond of social events, so it may not be talked about much, but he seems like a very nice gentleman.
Well, that remains to be seen.
I think I'm gonna feel the emotion.
With that, we're going to move to our final player. We enter on a sunny sitting room in the Court of Sky in the Spring Domain. High windows stretch from floor to ceiling, offering a view of the coast in the distance, where the lands of Aratus stretch for miles. A warm breeze drifts through the room, all pale blue and silver gilt, just on the cusp of going out of fashion, but not quite there yet. I'm glad you could find time in your busy schedule to meet with us, Laurent. Laurent, would you please describe yourself for us?
Is it early morning? Would you say?
Oh no, I am dreadfully sorry to say it is late afternoon and you were practically on your way out of the house when your father called you up here.
Okay, so I would assume that I'm
You're dressed. You are dressed for
I am dressed
the opening ball of the season. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have very soft, curly waves of like silver to white locks. I have these feather-like elf ears. The picture does more justice than I could explain. I'm very well put together. I got like velvet red. I got a ruffled little cuff collar with like my little house pin of a swan. It's very elegant, very regal. And I just kind of look over to my father. I'm like, can this wait? I'm terribly busy. I have somewhere to be. And I brush my hair back.
You are already making me regret my decision. Would you just come in?
All right.
Your father uncrosses his arms and takes a sip of his drink. This scene, your father condescending while your mother sits bored on the settee, this is not unusual. But as you step into the room, what is unusual are the other people in the sitting room. Your mother is sandwiched between two Oceanid men who are dripping water onto the settee and the floor, and if you dare look too closely, onto your mother. And even more unsettling than that, your father moves to lean against the arm of his sitting chair, which is occupied by, frankly, a stunning dryad woman who is probably your age, and she is bouncing a baby in her arms. Your father just sips his drink and waits for you to come in.
I'll like peer in the doorway and go, this is the strangest intervention.
You said you were in a hurry.
Yep. I don't want to be rude, Father, but I kind of glance across the room. Who are our guests?
We'll get to that.
I'll look at the baby.
Stares back at you.
Okay, can I look
You
at
know the blue-eyed animal thing?
Yeah. Okay, really quick, I'm so sorry. I look at the baby, can I look at my dad? Like, this is all strange.
Make an insight check.
Perception check for resemblance.
Now,
16.
a little bit of world building here for people who didn't watch our background video. Most Archfey are not natural born because their life cycles are thousands and thousands of years old. Pregnancies can take a very, very long time for most Fey. However, egg-laying races, it's a lot easier to get around that. And Laurent's family are harpies. Harpies, sirens, whatever verbiage they prefer. But that does mean they can lay eggs. So... But about 80% of the population, mortal changelings. If a mortal stays in Ildaha for 50 years or so, they will eventually, by osmosis and being affected by the glamour in the land, turn into a fae. However, Laurent's family, mostly natural born, given that they are bird folk. And that baby looks an awful lot like your dad.
And then, are the men sitting close to my mother sitting too close? They're quite obviously familiar.
You are looking at this and contemplating it, and you see your mother reach a leg out and kind of hook a foot around the ankle of one of the men. Kind of snake a foot around the ankle of one of the men sitting next to her. And kind of tug him a little closer.
Something apple tree. Anyway.
Well, son, you've been asking for a while now, and we've given it a lot of thought. Anyway, I've decided it's time to step down and pass over the family title. You will be the Marquess, and you will be in charge of managing the estate and everything that goes with that. The lands, the funds, our tenants, your siblings' tuition and dowries, just like you wanted. He reaches a hand out.
I take.
You shake his hand, and the second you shake his hand, your mother goes, "Congratulations, Lori! You'll do such a fine job!" I'm sure he will. And to that point, turns a stack of papers this thick, slams on the table. We should discuss the state of things. There is no easy way to say this. Your mother's book club has put us deeply in debt.
Book club.
Who was in the middle of taking a sip, puts down her cup. "Oh, because my trips with the girls has matched up to the hole that your son has dug." No, not you, darling, not you. Why don't you explain the mess that you've gotten us into? And is staring over at the woman in the chair with the baby, who is completely ignoring the situation like she can't hear any of it. Your parents descend into an argument, and you begin to piece the situation together. Your mother, unbeknownst to your father, dipped heavily into your sister's dowries and your brother Liam's tuition to fund her trips to the Court of Tides with her friends in the book club. Meanwhile, your father has been selling off significant parcels of the estate, most importantly, the parts of the estate that were bringing in income, in order to pay for the upkeep on the second family that he has been supporting in Parhelion Rock.
Well, I'm looking at the just like shuffling through this paper.
Mm-hmm.
Are we broke?
We are in debt.
What? So much of an inheritance, I'm inheriting nothing. Do we even own this house?
House, and we are responsible for the tenants on the land, and we have a responsibility to them, and you have a responsibility to ensure that your sisters make good matches and have a dowry to bring with them when they enter a new house. And you're responsible for making sure that your brother's tuition is paid on time.
So you get to run away with your second family to start over?
You wanted this, Laurent. You asked for this.
Ow! This? You left me with the shambles?
Did this? Never forget that, Laurent.
What the? How? I didn't stick my
knock on the door.
Tree!
There's a knock on the door. On the door of the sitting room. There's a pause. It gets silent, and then the butler, the head of the household staff, opens it, carrying a letter for the master of the house, and walks to Laurent.
I'm frazzled. I take the letter.
It is.
Thank you.
It's a letter that is sealed but has no crest on it. It's wax sealed but just blank, right? Like it's a completely blank seal.
I don't know who it was from, judging by that.
You know who it's from. You know who it's from.
Oh. Is everyone still, looking at me?
Yeah.
I may, turn my back to them and just open the letter quick, and then just whatever it says, I'm gonna quickly read it as fast as I can, put it in my pocket.
Well, change of plans. My dear sister has insisted that Emmeline attend this evening, much to our mutual annoyance. Can we meet there instead? Apologies for the short notice, but you know how these things go. B. And it is getting on in the evening, and you are in Skye, and you have to get all the way to Ainhold in the Court of Glamour, and you're already going to be late.
Yeah. Well, I look at my family. It was a pleasure meeting. Anyway, I love you both. Thank you again.
We love you too, Lori. You're going to do such a good job. I'm so proud of you. And with that, we leave the Court of Sky.
I have a million and two things to say, and I'm like, no, we can't say that.
And we make our way to the Court of Glamour. It is unusually warm for spring, and it is badly helped along by the abundance of candles and the crush of bodies already filling the ballroom here in the capital city of Ainhold. Restraint is not a word in the vocabulary of Princess Mestra, and that is never better illustrated than here. The opening ball of the season, saccharinely named this year a ball for all seasons. Anyone who matters will be at this party tonight, which is why we find our unlikely pair of allies standing at the shoulder of young Acrimony as she tries to reason her way out of a looming panic attack. So many people, no one's really going to notice me anyway, I'm sure. Not that I don't want to be noticed, but it's only my first night out, after all. She has a dark green flush already high in her cheeks and is making a concerted effort not to look terrified.
Darling. I'm like fixing her hair, like smoothing out her outfit.
Yeah, she's been twisting twisting her ringlets and is like forces her hands down.
You will do fine. You are the perfect picture of grace and elegance. You have been trained well, and just think nothing of it. Be yourself. I have the utmost faith in you.
Which is it? Should I think nothing of it, or should I be myself?
You should have fun, okay? That's the most important thing.
Okay. Yes.
Breathe.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank
Deep
you.
breaths. Deep breaths.
Vonni, how are you taking in this scene before you, your newest clients?
I'm standing there and I'm veiled. Like you're not reading anything,
Yeah.
but like there's a bit of joy in my heart. I'm like, this is
Aww.
so exciting. A first love, the nervousness, the butterflies. I'm very excited, and I'm just like, who should we try to find first? Like, I'm trying to think between like the 4 suitors, like who would be a great first meet, and I'm like kind of like looking around, seeing if I can see anybody, like see one of the 4.
Make a perception check for me.
That is a 22.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me see who's here. Ooh. It's bad. The first person you spot nearest to you is Lord Albion.
Lord Albion. I lightly tap on Lady Acrimony's shoulder, and I go, Lord Albion is right over there if you would like to say hi.
You see her look to where you're gesturing, where Lord Albion is, yes, standing very nearby, in a circle of people that he clearly knows, having a conversation. He seems very friendly. He's got his hand on someone's back and is telling a joke or something from his body language, but is surrounded by people. Absolutely surrounded by strangers. And she looks to him and looks at you and goes, maybe I could wait for it to clear out just a little. Would that be
We can. What if we nudge our way over there? Just, you don't even have to speak yet. We go over there and we let our presence be known.
Okay. And maybe he'll talk. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Matchmaker. Yes, thank you. Near the other side of the dance floor, a very different scene is unfolding. Lord Beaufort, Duke of Ainhold, the 2 minutes younger brother to Princess Mestra, rolls his eyes theatrically. I just don't see why you'd want to come at all, Emmy. It's not as if you know any of my friends. The young Furbolg woman with him scowls and would probably be turning red from rage were she not already pink. Lady Emmeline of Vonham of the Court of Decay sours. That's my point, Your Grace. How am I supposed to get to know your friends if you don't let me meet any of them? Oh, Your Grace! I guess this is a serious conversation now. Don't get curt with me, Emmeline. It's only drinks. You'll have more fun with my sister anyway. Beau cranes his neck as a tall, blonde figure makes his way through the crush at the door and heads toward the bandstand. All right, now, Emmy, I've got to go. I'll see you later. Gentlemen! Laurent, you feel an arm over your shoulder. You have made your way over to the bandstand where your friend Lord Abel, the court musician here in Glamour, is posted up, working, when Duke Beaufort slings an arm around you. How are we doing this evening?
Doing. I just got a lot of news that's very exciting, but maybe we'll save that for later.
Okay, yeah, I mean, wait till we find Feeny and Kaylin. I'm sure they're around here somewhere. I don't know how we'll find them in this mess, but...
through this crowd? I don't know.
We can find drinks first, though.
Yes,
He smiles at you, waves at Abel, who's occupied, and just slides his arm just a little lower down your back.
Darling, please. At least... Wait, please, just a moment. Before we get too excited.
It was that kind of news? Okay. Well.
It was not very good.
Laurent, why don't you make a perception check for me? Let's see if you can find your other friends.
Oh, yes, please. My sheet. You said, investigation?
Perception.
Oh, perception, my bad. Okay.
I mean, if you want to do investigation, we can.
Nah.
Hunt them down.
It's a 10.
So, yeah, you're looking out, and you're one of... How tall is Laurent?
He's pretty tall. I'd say like 6.
Yeah.
6'2" ish.
Yeah, he's a pretty tall guy. He's taller than Beau. But and you're taller than both Tryphena and Kaylin. Which is why it's like, yeah, I have the height on the crowd, but I still don't see either of them. Marchioness Tryphena of Relict and Princeps Kaylin of Tides. They're here somewhere. Who the fuck knows where. But you do see a problem. Yeah. So Kaylin asked you ahead of tonight to keep an eye on his little brother.
That's right.
It's his first season. Yeah. And you do spot him because that kid's tall.
Yeah.
What is it you call him? Fish sticks? That's what you called him?
Maybe. In confidence. Just watch how loud you say that.
Yeah. Well, you spot him posted up against a column, which in and of itself would not be that bad. You know, it's early in the night. The part that looks like it's about to get dire, worse than not speaking to the girl he's looking at, you see he has started to fumble around and pull out his sketchbook.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Okay. I'm gonna just assume that there's like waitstaff with like trays of like drinks.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna quickly
Yeah.
down a couple, maybe 2. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna... Sorry, I'm mustering strength right now. We're gonna go over to my boy Fish Sticks. And we're gonna help him.
Oh my god.
So I'm already plotting in my head right now of what I could do. I think It's been a day. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. I'm in a hurry.
Oh, no.
This is already unfolding. I'm gonna snap my fingers at the waitstaff to get one over.
Yeah, you're a Marquess. Someone's coming over. Like, yes, my lord. Can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
What can I?
Are you clumsy? Because you're about to be.
Excuse me?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take a couple of the drinks that they're holding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's got a tray full of, like full glasses, like fresh glasses.
I'm
sorry, my lord. I don't understand.
Oh, it's okay, shh, baby. It's okay. I'm gonna drink a couple of the other empty. I'm gonna leave them one. I'm like, could you lose your footing by the waterfall there? And oops, on that individual. If I say, couple gold coin, make your evening.
Make a persuasion check, and remember, all of our PCs have a special ability, because of their characters and the strength of their personalities. Laurent's is that when he makes a social check with a new person that he has just met, he makes it with advantage.
Fuck yeah. I'm persuasive. It's 24.
Yeah, this guy looks at you and says, "Oh, my lord, you don't have to pay me. I'm being paid to be here. That's quite all right. Who do you want me to assault?"
I'm gonna I want you to just spill wine. Do not assault anybody for the love of God.
Okay. I understand.
Okay, just clumsy. Just
Yes.
spill some wine, a little bit on the dress. I'll take care of the rest. And then remove yourself from the scene after. That's it. Don't hurt anybody.
Yes, my lord, I understand.
Okay. And just gesture to me without pointing who this is gonna be at, so I understand that you understand.
Okay, he points. He way too obviously points at Acrimony.
Okay. And you understand what you're doing. You are. And I wait for him.
Just throwing wine.
Just lose your footing, spill, run.
Yes.
That's it.
And run, yes.
Mm-hmm. Just apologize. That's fine. Don't be rude.
Yes, my lord. Trip, spill, apologize, run.
And scene. And then I'm gonna go make it to fish sticks.
Yay! Oh boy. Okay. That was a very good roll. You were very clear with your instructions. So I'll make a performance check for your waiter. Okay? So your waiter moves way too fast.
No.
Is holding the glass on the tray so it doesn't spill while he's speed walking. Oops! I'm sorry! And runs away. Just dumps a full cup of wine on Acrimony. Just dark blood red covers the front of her dress. This man is gone. You cannot catch him. Not in this crowd. Angharad, you and Vonni are looking at Acrimony, who was beginning to calm down and was standing near Lord Albion and was like, I'm going to stand here and be noticed. And her earlier panic returns in an instant.
Do I see who did that?
You saw him, but he's gone. He is a ghost. That man has left this court. That man is in winter by now.
Vonni kind of starts patting her on her shoulder and is part of her dress trying to just dab onto the wine. It's like, oh sweetie, it's okay.
Your Grace, may I? There is a rushed interjection as a dark-skinned Oceanid man that all three of you recognize from a portrait, bows kind of hastily and has to push his glasses back up as they slip down, approaches.
Oh, Your Grace.
Yes. May I help?
By all means, if there's something you can do to remedy the situation.
Yes. He puts a hand out and takes a step back a little bit. So he's not close enough to touch her, but puts his hands up. And being an oceanid, a sea nymph, begins to remove the liquid from her dress and just pull the wine stain out from her dress. And it just floats in the air in front of her. He looks pleased with himself for a microsecond, and then immediately panics as he begins to look around, holding this just bubble of wine in the air with nowhere to dispose of it. Apologies.
Not at all, Your Grace. Thank you very much.
Is there there's a lot of people around, right?
Yeah, there's tons of people.
Do I see someone holding an empty or almost empty wine glass?
You could absolutely snatch something from someone.
I totally just grab someone's wine glass.
Yes, thank you. Yes, apologies. Vonni, with your very high passive perception, you notice that oddly, all of his fingertips are stained black.
Oh, okay. Whoa. I kind of I look. Well, no one's gonna know this. I look questionably at his hands. However, I'm veiled, so that's what I'm well, Lord Marin, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Matchmaker Vonni. This.
You know who? Very sorry. Yes. Hello. Please to make your acquaintance.
This is, it's a bit of a situation, but while we're here, this is actually Lady Acrimony
of the Goblin Court. Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
No, you are so fine.
I apologize. You clearly have me at a disadvantage. I'm Lord Marin, Duke of Shoals. Not many people from... This is very rude. I'm very sorry. Not many goblin courtiers come to these events, so I knew who you both were.
Not at all, Your Grace. There has been no offense. It is the debut of the season. People are very well aware of who are attending these things. People tend to do their research. Might I say your timing was impeccable, though. You certainly came to the rescue, and we do appreciate that.
Oh, I was nearby. Laurent, are you imposing yourself on the situation at all? Because you were very close.
I was. I think once we did it. It was a little sloppy.
Because it does look like he is fumbling the bag a little bit here.
I'm trying to just think of how I could help him. Maybe I could
Well, here's the thing. If you're looking at these people, you know Angharad.
Yeah. Well, through my mother.
Well, yeah.
And so I would say distantly, I don't think I've ever had a proper face-to-face with Angharad.
You've met. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just we're vivid, just snapshots in my head from earlier. Anyway, yeah, we go to the same book club. Our mothers, yeah. I'd assume I'll stand at Marin's side and introduce myself. Hey, I'm Laurent. How are you, Angharad?
Fine. Thank you for interjecting into the situation.
I tend to do that. I'm so sorry. I was here for Marin. Are you okay?
Can I make an
That's not what
insight
happened.
check to see how obviously manufactured this is? Do I
Yes,
even need to?
Insight versus deception on Laurent and Angharad.
I got 25 as well. For my deception.
Roll
I got a
off.
23.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Laurent comes up and is just strolling up like, oh, hey, I know you. I'm here to say hi.
Just
Absolutely had nothing to do with that. That was an accident. Total coincidence.
Mhm. I'm just, making an appearance.
Right.
Just saying hi.
Oh, it's nice to see you, Lord Laurent. You two know each other as well?
Vaguely.
Yeah, our mothers.
Looks as if he's looking for a way to escape this situation, and looks to Acrimony. Could I maybe get you another drink? To which she replies, will it be in a glass? And he offers her his arm. And she looks to both looks between Angharad and Vonni as if for permission.
I give like a
For
slight.
a little nod.
Yeah, I give a little nod.
Okay. And they walk just a short distance away to find a table, not a waiter.
So, you guys seem a little acquainted. And I'm sorry, you said your name was Laurent?
Yes, my name is Laurent. I'm the Marquess in Sky.
Okay, Lord Laurent. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
I apologize I didn't get your name, and you are?
I'm Matchmaker Vonni.
Pleasure. And I do a slight little bow.
Now,
Laurent, you have heard of them.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
now, if you seem to, know the Duke. I just happen to notice that his fingertips are black. Is there something we should know? Just because we're courting, I didn't want to make the poor boy more nervous.
Yeah, I can explain that. Quick segue. God, am I gonna assume it's ink?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. Okay. Yes, the Duke just sketches and he has his journal and stuff, and that's just charcoal, I promise. It's no illness or anything to be concerned about. Or no injury. I understand why that's a definite concern, but no, he's perfectly healthy.
Vonni, at the word injury, Vonni kind of straightens their posture a bit and goes, well, nothing wrong with some artistic talent. It's fun, it's beautiful. And I look over at the two to see if make sure there's no more wine spilling happening.
No one else has touched wine on them. They seem to be actually talking. You can't be sure how it's going, but they are actually speaking to each other.
So,
as
Laurent, how is it that you know the Duke of Shoals?
the moment you say that, Angharad, a hand lands on Laurent's shoulder. Its owner is hidden behind Laurent because he's very tall. There you are! I was wondering if the party was ever going to get interesting. Go on, introduce me to your friends. And a much paler and shorter blue Oceanid man trails off, and his arm just falls gracelessly to his side as he comes around Laurent and stares at Angharad. Aoife? How do you know each other?
How do you know each other?
Vonni just goes, huh?
Our mothers, book club, our moms know each other. How do you know each other? Does your mom...
Princeps Kaelin of Tides steps around and has not taken his eyes off of Angharad. Your mothers know each other.
Yes.
Of course they would. Why wouldn't they?
Am I... Could you indulge me on the context you're withholding? What's going on?
He completely ignores you. I'm surprised to see you here, Aoife. I expected you to have some desperately important work keeping you busy in your new court.
Well, Princeps, I will be delighted to remind you that that is no longer the name I go by. And this is my important business with my court.
How would I know that is not your name anymore?
Perhaps if you listened to the channels that provide very open information about the goings-ons in other courts, you would know a thing or two.
So what's your very important business that brought you here?
Do you actually care to know, or is this just...
Oh, I care. No, I care very much.
It is my ward's debut season, and I am escorting her.
This is the first time he looks away from you and sees Acrimony with his little brother. I see. Well, I hope for her sake your family name is the last thing you decide to abandon. Those things do tend to come in threes, after all.
Excuse me. I will be removing myself from this situation before you offend me further. Unless you
Yes,
would like
a
to leave.
habit. A habit of yours. Apologies. I have other places to be as well. Gonna go find a fountain to dunk myself in, and he walks
me
away.
too. Can I follow him?
Just storms off. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's awkward. I bow. And I...
Yeah, he storms off, but he doesn't try to get away from you. He lets you catch up. We'll cut to you two in a second. Angharad. Actually, we're going to.
Am I making the family connection yet? Am I looking at Marin and being?
Yeah,
like,
he said little brother.
Fuck.
This is a great time to take a little break to talk about one of our mechanics. So, our inspiration mechanic is called Glamour. We're adapting the adversity token mechanic from Kids on Bikes. When one of our players fails a roll, they get a glamour token, which they can spend to boost another roll 1-to-1. For environmental rolls, I'll tell you the DC you have to beat. For opposed checks, you have to decide how much you're willing to spend to risk beating the other person. Glamour is an in-world resources. All Fae have glamour, so if you use it too openly or against people that are a lot stronger than you, there's a chance they'll notice you're using it. The other way glamour can be spent, and that's why we're bringing it up, is to prompt a character's internal monologue, your fellow players, or an NPC. This is a way to get insight into someone's thoughts or feelings during a scene, if something very dramatic has happened. Just remember that these monologues are non-diegetic. They are for us, the players, and for the audience, not for your characters to hear. So this is not metagame knowledge. And with that, I would like to be the first to prompt a monologue from Angharad.
So that whole conversation, Angharad usually stands with a sort of like slightly creeped posture. She's a little hunched forward, a little spooky. The whole time she was speaking with him, her spine just sort of straightened, and she sort of returns to that sort of very stoic, very serious posture. And as she's watching him walk away, all she can think of is just, how dare him? 200 years And that's the first thing he has to say to me. The fucker.
For free? I'll tell you, he's thinking the same thing.
Whew.
Vonni, what do you do in the wake of that very public incident?
Here's the thing. Okay, I am working with Angharad. Like, I'm here for Acrimony at the end of the day. And, you know, we're adults. I get personal life. My attention really isn't necessarily on that. I take a peek over. I see that the two hopefully lovebirds are doing
Didn't
fine.
even notice.
They didn't notice. They're doing good. And I kind of start looking around to just see if I can see people I know. Just kind of checking in on some people from a distance.
So, make a perception check for me first.
Okay. That is another 22.
You begin, and I think it's easy for you to spot her because, like you, she's not really attending this party. She's more here in a working capacity, and you just spot that, you know, the posture to look for, right? You know, there's a difference between the way someone holds themselves if they are here on business or on pleasure, and you just spot that posture as she's walking, and you see Lady Cressida, personal assistant and kind of everything for Princess Mestra, and your cousin, at least in some ways, walking fairly close by through the crowd, not as if she's on a particularly timely mission, but just walking like someone who is not here because she necessarily chose to be here.
Is she, like, making her way towards me, or just kind of...
She's near you. It looks like she's just making her rounds.
Okay. I want to make sure I still, like, am within a distance that I can see Lady Acrimony, but I'm gonna make my way towards her, towards Cressida.
Yeah. As you get close, she notices you before you even really approach her. Lady Cressida is a pretty young Myconid woman, who moved here a few years ago from the Court of Decay to accept this position as Princess Mestra's assistant. And she spots you and moves to get close and kiss you. Not actually kiss you because of the veil, but kind of kiss the air on either side of your cheeks. Vonni! You made it! I mean, you're working, of course. It's the season. Of course you did. But it's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, too. Yeah, you know, working hard. Well, kind of. I think I'm gonna let love do its thing. I'm very hopeful, but...
It's going well, then! That's
yes,
great!
very.
I might have a job for you. A big one. I can't talk about it here, but, would you want to, have tea tomorrow, maybe in my office, where we could talk in private? It's a little sensitive, but it might be a really, big opportunity for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. Tomorrow, yeah, I can be at your office. That's no problem.
Yeah, the tournament starts, I think, after lunch, so, maybe we could do breakfast together?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm free. We can definitely do breakfast. That sounds nice. You know, get caught up and...
Great. Work. I'll have a card sent to your apartments. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here this season.
I give, like, a little... I motion my head like I'm trying to do the kiss thing, but... Well, no, I guess my mouth's showing. I give, like, a little pucker of the lip.
She ducks in to just give you a very, very quick hug and then scurries off.
Fair.
Laurent, you followed Princeps Kalen as he stormed away.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I guess I'll wait till we get enough distance away from all that was.
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, Kaylin, okay, hold on. What is going on? How do you know Angharad? You ignored me back there.
Look, not here, okay? Can we go outside?
Yeah.
He keeps walking, and fully leads you outside to the mostly deserted gardens. In the early parts of the gardens, there are people out there doing what they're gonna do, but he's just fully ignoring people necking in the gardens.
Oh, I'm like, how? Okay.
We're not gonna look too closely at that.
That's what the hedge maze is for.
He keeps moving, completely ignoring this. You hear a couple, Your Highness! Does not listen, keeps walking. Moves to the fountain in the back of the gardens.
Okay.
And as he said, dunks himself into it. Fully just throws himself into the fountain.
So he throws himself into. He's my little fish boy. Is he gonna swim around, or what is he doing?
No, he just like a man collapsing drunkenly on a sofa. Just face plants in a fountain. Yeah. Now, you've been friends with Kaylin for a good couple decades.
Yeah.
The man does not talk about his family very much, with the exception of his little brother. Doesn't like to talk about his twin. Certainly doesn't talk about his parents. As far as you know, both his parents are dead. It hasn't been explicitly said, but they're certainly not in the picture. But you're pretty good friends. Certainly has never mentioned Angharad to you, which would have come up because your families know each other.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like sit on the edge, like the waterfall, and just kind of watch him, and I'm just like, is he just completely submerged in the water?
He flips after a good minute. He flips over.
Okay. I kind of like, if he splashes, I'm just gonna feel better.
No, but thank you for coming.
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Okay, so how well do you know her?
That's a good question. I don't think very well. I mean, what I know is more of her mother being friends with mine. They have this stupid book club.
Do you know her? Do you know her mother? Have you met Finola?
I would say, have I in passing, or does my mom only talk about
very briefly in passing?
Okay. Yeah.
You didn't even know that was her name, I don't think.
No. Yeah, no. What I know about her mother is very little. I've only seen her in passing, and even then, it's always with a triage of.
Yeah. No,
water boys.
I know Finola pretty well, and I know her friends. Let's make this a persuasion check to see how real he's gonna get with you about this.
Okay. It's a 13.
Okay. So, our families were... He cuts himself off and pivots. You know he doesn't like talking about his parents.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up together. And you can kind of tell he's talking around something, like very carefully wording what he's saying. When my sibling Galen took the throne, and I took mine, and that's pretty common knowledge. You know that his twin, Galen, is the monarch of summer. And that happened. You weren't friends with him when that happened, but it was only a few hundred years ago. It was about 200 years ago. We were very close friends, and when I took the throne, she disappeared. I mean, literally disappeared. Never spoke to me again. She left for the Goblin Court and didn't say another word to me, ever. Nothing. Just gone. I don't know why. I, never found out. I have just enough self-respect not to go running after her to ask. At least I did then, until she showed back up here. Like nothing... Like she hadn't been gone for 200 years. Do
I connect the dots? Is there history here? Am I seeing history?
Make an insight check.
It's a nat 20.
A nat 20. Shit. Okay. You're gonna find out something. He rolled a 19 on the die, and he has a plus 11 to charisma. But we honor nat 20s at this fucking table, okay? So, yeah, I'm gonna let you beat a 30 with your nat 20 and tell you, and I'm gonna let this retroactively, what he's saying, you've seen Kaylin with a rotating cast of lovers of every species and gender over the you and your friends, all of them, get around. And you've seen how he speaks about people that he has been in relationships with, and that's not what he's saying right now. He is not saying that they had a relationship. He said friends, he meant friends. But with a nat 20, he did have feelings for her. He would not be this upset if he did not have feelings for her. So, yeah, she got, I knew she was going to, this was before they were a court. She got an offer to work for Grubhilda, Princess Grubhilda. She got an offer, and I knew she was going to take it. I knew that. We had talked about it, and she had plans to leave later. Right? Like, I knew she had plans. We talked. That's the thing. And then the day it happened, she just disappeared. And I never heard from her again.
So the one that got away, huh? I heard that the real reason the Duchess left the Court of Tides was because her marriage proposal was rejected.
Well, isn't that a convenient little lie? The things people will tell themselves to help them sleep at night.
It's not like that.
Is it?
No.
You kinda hurt, but okay. I won't twist the knife, but you seem kind of more upset than I've seen you before.
Make a second persuasion check. That nat 20 really fucked me here. Session 1! Episode 1, Session 1, and you have already fucked me.
That's a 16.
Look, that day was one of the worst days of my life. The worst day of my life. And not just because of Aoife. Some things happened with my family that she knew about. I don't like to talk about it, but some things happened with my family, and she knew that. And she chose that day to leave. She was my best friend. She was my only friend. And she left me there alone. So, yeah, I feel some kind of way about it, I guess. And apparently she doesn't, so fuck me.
You don't... I mean... I'm trying to gather the words to say without being rude.
It's not getting any worse, Laurent. Just fucking say it.
You haven't kissed her or anything like that, have you?
No, it wasn't like that. Look, you've known me for 50 years, and I know you were around for Lear, okay? We don't have to talk about Lear anymore. It wasn't like that with her, okay? It wasn't.
I'm sorry. You know, I'm curious. I
No,
thought
I
it would
know.
be similar. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't like it was with Lear. It wasn't like it was with Amfrete. It was, we were friends. We grew up we knew each other before we could walk, before we could swim. I thought I meant anything to her.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder.
Stoking wet.
Just, well, you know what? The night is young. Let's forget about that for now. We'll talk about it later.
I'm not going back in there. I think Feeny said something about one of the smoking lounges, and I think the Brads are in there. I don't know. I was not paying attention. I don't listen when those guys talk, but I know that they have. They've got alcohol in there, and that's really all I care about. Okay, yeah. So Beau's school friends, who you can form your own opinions about them, but you know Kaylin's not a big fan. It's Beau's friends from finishing school. Bradtholomew, Thaddeus, and Shadifer.
Oh, that's right. The Brads.
Mhm.
Okay.
The
The
lads. The
lads.
The lads.
The lads.
They're dumb as rocks, but they know how to party. Look, can we just find a bowl big enough for me to dunk my entire head in and fill it with whiskey? That's all I want.
Do I see the familiar butler in the distance?
And you two head inside to find your other friends.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing inside, my lovelies? Vonni has gone to talk to Cressida, and Angharad, you are alone for a little while. Are we just staying watching Acrimony, or are we going to try to socialize ourselves?
I could pick up on the fact that Acrimony seems to be doing well on her own. They seem to be hitting it off, but someone still obviously needs to be close by. So I am not going to... Actually, you know what? I take that back. I've learned who this is now, and I'm going to start feeling him out. I am going to go join the conversation.
Okay! All right!
No.
I have got to check these vibes.
That is so fair. That is so valid. We respect
What are your
that.
intentions with my daughter?
The two of them have moved, not out of sight, but just not blocking the drinks table, and have moved to stand near the column that Marin was posted up at previously in the night. And Acrimony, Marin's asking questions about the Goblin Court, seems genuinely interested, and Acrimony is explaining a little bit about, well, it's not, we don't really have an estate or a palace like this one, so it's kind of out of a tree. I feel like I'm not explaining it properly, and you see that he has once again pulled out his sketchbook and is kind of trying to draw what she's describing, and she's leaning over a little bit to me. No, it's literally in the tree, like carved out of the tree. And just trying to describe the, what you have in the Goblin Court as your capital city, in Mudlark.
You two seem to be well engaged in conversation. I would suggest that the dance floor is open, but you seem to both be perfectly happy here.
Oh, Marin, kind of jumps a little bit and is, oh, I'm sorry, I have, forgotten all of my manners. Did you want to dance? Do you want to dance? And Acrimony looks... We can dance? Yes, yes, we can do that! just looks at you, Angharad, like, okay, yeah, thank you for reminding me that that's a thing I'm supposed to be doing. You don't have events like this in the Goblin Court, and you, as the heir to a duchy in Tides, where Marin is from, have done your utmost to prepare her for this sort of thing, but Acrimony grew up in the markets. Like, she has a foot in two very different worlds and is doing her best and is just trucking along as best she can.
Yeah, either way, I don't want, even if she's hitting it off, even if she's having a good time, I don't want her sitting here in the corner on the first event of her debut season. She needs to get out there and let people see who she is.
Absolutely. And Marin does put his things away, and bow, and it is clear that they both know what they're supposed to do and have just badly forgotten themselves until you remind them.
Yeah, Angharad's just gonna take a drink and just kind of like seethe.
What if I send you the Brads? You'll cheer up.
Oh my god.
I think everyone who has ever set foot in Ainhold knows the lads. Like, the lads, all caps, you know them. If you are under 500 years old and you have come to Ainhold, you have had a drink with the lads at least once. You may not have enjoyed it, but you have.
Like, do they like force you, like very much like bro, like you gotta do it now? Shots.
Yes.
They're obnoxious.
Yes.
Okay.
They are the Archfey equivalent of frat boys, and that's just what they are.
Are we back in like the main area, like the ballroom or wherever?
Yes, you are. Although you are very carefully avoiding the side of the room that Angharad is on. Angharad,
them seething though? Sorry.
Yeah, no, easily.
Angharad always kind of looks in a state of like unapproachable. But yeah, she's sitting there holding a glass. Like,
you know what? A very important note is that you clock, because you just had your hands on Kaylin, is that Angharad over there seething as you're looking for her, also dripping wet. And you're like, when did that happen? Has she always been like that? Is she always like that?
I don't know, but I'm scared though. I'm gonna like whisper to Kaylin and be like, hey, I don't think you're the only one that's upset by this whole escapade.
I thank you for the help, but I simply cannot talk or think about it tonight. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. You're a good friend. I can't think about it. I can't.
I'm frustrated. There's so many things I want to say and do. I'm like, respect, don't respect, don't. I've had
now, look, he's your friend. He is a prince.
That's
You've
fair.
never known him to be very picky about. He's never given you an order, is what I'm saying. You're like, he's my friend. He does outrank me, but I did see him dunk himself in a fountain 5 minutes ago. What's he really gonna do? He's not my prince.
No.
I'm not in Tides. I'm from Sky. I live in Glamour. What is he gonna do to me?
I'm really like, Kaylin, what if we send the Brads over, the lads, and then she'll get so upset. Maybe she'll leave and let cheer her up. I could do it. You don't have to. You could just sit there, look pretty as you usually do.
You can do whatever you want, as long as I'm not involved and she doesn't think I'm involved. Okay. That's all I ask.
Look for that butler from earlier.
Oh my lord. Vonni, you have your eyes on the room at all times. Are you clocking any of this?
Like, I'm definitely, like, I'm looking around, I see that Angharad is, had talked to the hopeful lovers, got them out on the floor and dancing. And I looking over and I see those two talking. I don't know how close I am to them, if I could overhear. I don't know, is there gestures happening?
Which two?
Sorry,
Laurent and Kaylin?
Laurent and Kaylin, yeah.
They're loud.
They're loud.
You think these two guys are not loud as hell? These two, let me be very clear, scoundrels and, can I say this, flamboyant scoundrels. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
They're loud.
I am
Loud in many ways.
I think I'll make my way over to Angharad and I will warn her of what I overheard.
Of my lads?
About the lads.
No.
Because already not in a great mood. And I'm like, we can't. Especially hearing, where's the butler? And I literally saw no wine.
Inside checks for both Angharad and Vonni with advantage on the wine incident now.
Hey, they're happy.
That is
And I want
24.
I want another deception check from Laurent, a fresh one, since you're yelling about the butler.
Yeah, 23.
When am I not a messy bitch, okay? I'm not sorry.
We love to see it. We love it. There's just consequences.
Oh yeah. We're here for it. Punish me. And then that was a deception.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 25.
Again?
Yeah. Math.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
remember that the other two
Yeah.
of you have glamour.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Can I
I
interject?
thought it was like,
The Santa thing. Do I still have 2 of Farah's glamour?
Bitch, I give that shit to you!
No, that was a joke. That was a joke. You absolutely do not.
Okay.
No, you don't.
now, to interject to make sure, doesn't this count as opposing, or do you just mean in battle?
I mean opposing against an NPC. Against PCs, you obviously know what you're rolling. But if I'm rolling as an NPC and I'm like, you failed, do you want to spend glamour? I'm not going to tell you. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what? I'll spend... I just have to match, right?
Yes, you just have to match.
I
What
will
did you
spend
roll?
I rolled a 24. I will spend 1
Okay.
glamour to match at a 25.
And no,
'Cause they're
Alyssa, you
being
cannot
loud.
counter. Yeah.
Wow. I helped. No one appreciates me.
Yeah, and I think this makes sense because Vonnie's the one who hears him talking loudly about sending the butler over to Angharad, and you're like, wait.
Hold on a second.
Wait. Hold up!
I make my way over and I'm assuming I can tell that Angharad is not in a great mood. Especially given I've seen her the past how many hours since we met. And
Well,
I
you guys
kinda...
met weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if this was our very first meeting and it was only over letters or...
You have been writing letters for months. The meeting in your office took place a couple weeks ago, just before the season started. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I go up. Is Angharad sitting down, standing? What's the vibe?
I'm sort of standing where Marion and Acrimony were
Okay.
after they went out onto the dance floor.
So I go over and trying to just stand next to her and kind of lean my head over towards her in a whispering sense. Your Grace, I had overheard something, and it appears that your friend, acquaintance, Laurent, had... There's a couple things. Had sent for the butler to spill wine on Lady Acrimony, and is also planning with
Princeps.
Princeps Kaelin. Although Princeps Kaelin does seem hesitant on it, I will say, to send over a group of the lads, and potentially a butler to spill wine your way as well.
Oh,
Absolute snitch energy.
what the fuck?
Hey, game is game. I'm getting paid. At the end of the day, I'm getting paid.
It's
Oh
true.
my god.
Game is game.
That's sure. Yeah, she's paying you, so.
Thank you for the heads up. If they see this plan to fruition, I will see fit to deal with it.
Well, or I was thinking, maybe a slow con. Maybe we, hear me out. What if we ask Lord Laurent to I don't know. He seems like the outgoing type, and that he's searching. By the way that I've heard some things. Maybe could try to help him out as well.
Oh, I have no interest in helping him out. I'm intrigued as to what you're suggesting, but my favor is wearing thin.
Maybe just getting to know what's happening. Like, what does Laurent? I don't know. I don't know your personal whatever, but
I will be frank. Clearly, there has been some sort of manufactured effort to get my ward and the Duke of Shoals together. I would not have been opposed to this, but as he seems a perfectly genuine gentleman. I mean, no offense towards him. But knowing the reputation of his family and how they carry themselves, I would not like for that to interfere if this is a genuine match that my goddaughter would like to pursue.
well, I agree. That is, maybe I'm just a little bit of a softie, but the connection that those two had, it's why I could like hear Vonni, like they're kind of choking up a little bit. They're like, this is why I do what I do. Sniffles a little bit and then corrects posture and is like, breathes out.
My dear Vonni, they have known each other all of 15 minutes.
Love.
Daddy, I love
But you just see in so many times, like there isn't a connection like that, and it is just her face. It was just joyous.
I need you to reassure me that whatever personal biases you have are not going to interfere with business.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
I know I already hired the matchmaker, but I heard they're not even married themselves. I mean, how much experience could they have?
My personal love life should have no effect on my abilities as a matchmaker. I keep my life private. It's how I prefer. But I think maybe that's why if we get on Lord Laurent's good side, there won't be those conflicts happening. Because clearly there's a story between you and Princeps Kaelin, and, you know, maybe you're not saying you have to share your stuff, but...
I will not be. It is none of your business.
No, I'm not asking, but I'm saying Laurent may change his tune and might make this whole courting excursion that we're going through easier on you.
Frankly, if the Lord sees fit to interject further, I will handle it. This has nothing to do with him. However, should the Princeps choose to meddle in this affair, that is something entirely different.
He, did say that he didn't want you thinking he was part of it. He just basically told Laurent to do what he wanted to do, but that he wasn't involved.
Well, that doesn't exactly scream innocence either.
I agree. That's why I am forewarning you.
I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, what's Laurent doing during this conversation?
I think like the crowd of people, I don't know how the heights are, but I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking. Shit.
Yeah, you both clocked it. You make eye contact. Angharad and Laurent make eye contact during this conversation.
The boy is smiling, and then just leave.
Send the lads over. Do it. I fucking dare you. See what happens.
Do it to me. I'm like, do it.
I just look, and the head sort of like tilts down. You know, just start doing like the Kubrick stare, like, mid conversation. She's the scariest bitch in this room right now.
Yeah, I don't. You got a weird type, Kaylin. All right, let's go. Let's go. I panically push him as if to try to cover up.
He's
what
going.
I said.
He's fucking gone.
Okay. We gotta go.
You think you're scared of Angharad? Now, Vonni, you know that you're in glamour for at least another week. There will be opportunities for you to suss out Lord Laurent and see what his deal is. Because you have heard rumors, and not all of them are bad, but they're certainly not good. Now, speaking of the scariest bitch in this room, Angharad's scary, but she's not the scariest bitch in this room.
Ooh, oh no.
Oh.
Duchess Angharad. A tall, very tall Winter Eladrin in a daringly cut set of men's tails walks up and extends a hand to you. She cocks her head at a wave of very long black hair, cut short on one side with like geometric patterns shaved into her scalp.
Is this our first formal meeting? I'm
It's your first formal meeting.
okay.
Yes.
Like, I know who people are. I have my ear to the ground, but we haven't
yes.
been introduced.
You have not been introduced, no.
Yes, I'll take her hand. I'll seem kind of puzzled for a second, being like, "Where did you come from?" And be like, "Oh,
Princeps Karna of Shadow.
indeed."
Yes. I don't believe we've had the pleasure,
We have not.
but we have in passing, I believe.
Yes, I stay very busy with my correspondence.
Well, no, there was that summit in Dawn, 80 years back, I think? I'm not surprised you don't recall. Everett tends to drone on at those things.
Oh, yes.
You see who she's gesturing at, which is, he's in the room. They're Princeps Everett of the Court of Dawn, who is a kind of short furbolg, who is in kind of gender neutral robes and pastel colors, who is standing talking to Princess Mestra, who looks very bored. I haven't had the opportunity, I don't leave winter much, but I wanted to commend you on your success with that river easement negotiation thing. Tides can be so petty about their waterways and all that. I'm glad to hear that you didn't roll over on it. Well, I'm sure that was a nightmare, but it sounds like you got the better end of it in the end.
Well, I never shy away from a good challenge.
Glad to hear it. We would love to have you and your ward in Shadow sometime. I don't think we've had any guests from your court since it was incorporated.
Certainly not. We do not venture up there very often, although we have very little reason to. The waters are quite still there. But we would be amenable to the idea.
Well, I usually have the annual bash for the mid-season, and we would be delighted to have you. Your princess as well, although I hear she doesn't leave court much these days.
No, I tend to oversee business on her behalf, as most people are aware of, you know.
I'll extend an invitation regardless. It's the thing to do. Well,
That is kind of you.
I should be getting on. Lots of people to talk to, but it is lovely to meet you in person, and do keep in touch. She reaches for your hand again and kisses it, and then turns and walks away. Vonni, she did not acknowledge you in that conversation at all.
Yeah. You said it was the Court of Stone, correct?
Court of Shadows.
Shadows. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yes, Princeps Karna of Shadows, which is really the only winter court that tends to leave winter. They're a bit more isolationist than the other three domains, but Shadow tends to get around. They're social in a aggressive sort of way.
I feel like I kind of have a slight. I don't take offense. I feel like I have some pre like knowledgeable, you know. I'm like, it's winter domain. I'm not offended by it.
Yeah. So, is there anything anyone would like to close out this event on? I know Laurent is helping his friend this evening, be that emotional support or finding a fishbowl full of whiskey for him to dunk his head in. Are you sending the lads over?
I think when I saw that dark cloud, I live to die another day.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And with that, I think we'll end our first session of Phase of Our Lives. Bye!
I'm getting hungry. Let's wrap this up. I'm hungry.